there's 12 causes of project failure, and number 12 is lack of continued risk assessment. Most projects assess risk once and then they never look at it again. But risk isn't static. It moves and it compounds. And if you're not scanning for it constantly, it will catch you off guard. Don't wait for problems to land in your lap. Build risk assessing into your rhythm and make it part of your daily stand-up. And treat it like what it really is. A moving target, not a one-time checkbox. All right, before we get into today's live, I want to run what's called an accusation audit. And we're going to try and get you past the first two boxes here, which is the solution's counterintuitive and it conflicts with our current measurement, how we measure what we actually do. All right, so you're probably thinking, here we go, another framework, another LinkedIn legend. We've already got risk management process. Where to do that, okay? Heard this all before, and the last time that I actually used risk in a post, someone that I worked with previously jumped on and commented, people just use the word risk, particularly the younger generations, use the word risk so that they don't have to do things. I don't believe they do it just for that. Will sit in, the reason that they're doing it will sit in one of these four things just here. The bigger underlying problem is they're doing that is the environment's not safe enough for them to take risks. Not that we want people doing risky things, we want them experimenting. We want them mitigating risks. All right. Real problem on projects isn't people, but the real problem on projects usually isn't people being too cautious, especially when it comes to supervision. Okay, they think that they can do everything in 5 minutes. We'll smash it. We'll get through this in no time at all. I'm talking risk here at the moment. I'm talking risk to cost and schedule. Time overrun. Let me be real clear about this. Time overrun, cost overrun. That's the risk that we're speaking to here. Real problem is that risk appears early and people don't know, or they might name them, and they get shouted down. They get stopped from flagging them up. You're being difficult. You're creating issues that don't exist. Just because you can't see it yet, doesn't mean it's there. Keith Cunningham, I'll play a clip at the end of this, says, and really recommend you get hold of the book, The Road Less Stupid, by Keith Cunningham. This is supposedly a business book, or it is a business book. It's a book about life. And it's a book about how you run projects. He says, risk does not cease to exist just because you choose to ignore it. And the biggest risk that we faced every single day is lack of focus. People going off track. Tell them about it, Bo.
When our leader disappears on a tangent, has anyone here had a leader that goes off on a tangent before? Our wingman brings them back on track and says, hey boss, isn't this the objective? Isn't this what we committed to? Why don't you come back on? And when you caught your breath, you know what's happening, I'll hand the lead back over to you. We call that no authority leadership.
All right. That's what happens when this catalyst loop, the catalyst daily loop, is run properly every day. No authority leadership. Someone give me thumbs down again. It's probably the old mate. It does a lot to using the word risk. All right, almost happened to me this morning where we lose risk on focus. I've got, as you can see, my year very well planned out, where I'm heading. I know what my target is for this next quarter. I'll show you in a minute. Is to get the tool built, which brings project management administrative work down to under an hour a day with Claude. That's what I'm building, okay? I got an offer, jumped in, I'm on a community called School. I just see down the bottom there, school.com/Scrum. That's where I run construction school. Offer comes in from one of the other communities that I'm in. Hey Benny, we can help you build your school. Work with us for the next 90 days. Said, I'm sorry, not right at the moment. I have something else that I'm committed to. I've focused, my main objective, primary objective is somewhere else. This would just be a distraction. Go back, oh, it's only 10 to 20 hours a week. All right. So I sent it back the old Russian proverb. You chase two rabbits, you catch neither one. That's the biggest risk on our projects every single day. Us going off track, finding a better, shinier, new thing to chase. My mission at the moment, and nothing can distract me from this, is to build this. There are 4 metrics that we're going to measure, which are going to give us a health check on our project. Project manager should be able to go to this and look at it. This is the thinking behind the way that I built this, is 1% of a 24-hour day is 14.4 minutes. So if we eliminate all of the waste, you'll need to come back to this screen back here. If we eliminate all of the waste, the 90% of waste that is in his day or is in the process of trying to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure and drive the 9 rules of project flow, we get rid of a lot of that. He should be able to, in 14.4 minutes a day, he can go to, back to here, look at his Trello board, look at his TAC plan, review the metrics for full kit, engagement, handoffs and constraints, and have an exceptional idea exactly where his project fits and where it's tracking on those things within 15 minutes, 1% of the day, of a 24-hour day, 14.4 minutes, he should be across everything. So that is my mission at the moment. My primary objective is to build that. I'm using Claude. I started using Claude yesterday. 2 days ago, sorry. I've done 2 sessions on it so far. That is in the process of being built. I need to have that built in the next 90 days because it's going to get stress tested in Q3. All right, so the real topic today, the catalyst loop. What is this catalyst loop and what does it actually do? So it's set off of 4 things: see, fix, share, spread. That's how the catalyst loop works. And this is how it mitigates risk. So every morning at a pre-start, the catalyst is sharing with the rest of the group how to see waste, the 90% of the non-value added activity that we do every single day, and how to increase flow. That's protecting our risk to schedule of time blowouts by getting everyone engaged and seeing those 2 things. There and there, very simple. All right, they're out in the field during the day, something's non-value added activity or blocking flow, so they stop and they fix it. They use the ORCA process for that. What was the objective? What we're doing today? Benny was building the Claude AI wingman to drive his administrative work down to under an hour a day. What were the results? Well, the results was he got a message in his inbox this morning saying, come and join this other program and build your school community. What were the causes of that? Well, he's involved in that other community. It was an offer that they had on at the moment. The guy reached out with a message and was keen to get him on board to get involved in it. What actions come out of that? He said no. Action was no, it's been shut down. Okay, so the ORCA process has been run. Stopped and fixed or improved the thing that was non-value added activity or blocking our flow. Lessons learnt, take a photo or video. We just did it. Then we share that for the school platform, so that creates Yokoten. That's where I'm building the Catalyst Academy, where people all across the world from projects will be able to come, run this daily loop and share laterally across the organisation, across the construction industry, what's working and what they fixed. Better people become better All Blacks. Better people become better construction workers by using this flywheel, this process. Risk is getting mitigated just here. Stopping the waste, increasing the flow. Well, that's managing our risk to cost and schedule. Reducing this non-value added activity, mitigating risk. Again, sharing it with other people, mitigates the risk of rework. Other people are going to see it and say, oh, I saw that happen the other day. They had an issue with that. This is the way around it. It was cause 12 of the 12 causes of project failure that Dr. Eli Goldratt collected data on and studied, which is lack of continuous risk assessment. That is a daily continuous risk assessment, that loop, that catalyst loop. All right, have you run an ORCA yet with your people on your project? That is the $1 million question. Okay, let's, given that, this is our continuous risk assessment, let's run one right now. Run daily ORCA. The risk is here that it won't transcribe very well on ORCA debrief. Risk is, I'll give it the wrong command. Day well, 113. $113. It is Monday, 16th of March 2026, 10:04 a.m. We're in Beanie's office. I've actually built a bot that you can use to do this. If you want a GPT that sits inside ChatGPT, reach out if you want. The link to that will take you, not exactly the same as this, but it will still take you through a process of doing an ORCA on your site. Upload a photo of the previous shift's whiteboard showing the current actions. All right. Let's put you on follow me mode. Yep. Plug it in here while we do this. Have you run an ORCA yet? Hot dog or not hot dog? Remember the Jin Yang video? It's either yes or no. Not we tried to, we thought about it. Don't want to hear the excuses. First action, was this action completed? Yes. Yes. It's just going back, and this is how we track that we make sure we're closing out the actions that we're putting up. ORCA Wingman notes, yes. Yes. Yes, I created that checklist. All previous actions were now closed. What the objective of this mission today? The objective of the mission today is to get down to Brisbane for a meeting. Yes. What result did you get? I'm ready to go for the meeting. I've prepped, done this live early. I have mitigated my other task, which is to spend 50 minutes learning Claude. I'm going to do that in the car for a podcast on the way. And the meeting I'll be at later today. Do a summary. Live session completed. Early preparation of the Brisbane meeting completed. Claude learning task mitigated by scheduling post-training during travel. Is this correct? Yes. What caused those results? What specifically enabled you to complete live early and be ready for the meeting? Scheduled live yesterday. I did the work, all the prep work with my GPT yesterday, so it was done, ready to roll out hit the live button this morning. Had everything prepped and ready to go, everything charged. And I knew it was my main mission for the day to get to that meeting, so I knew that I had to have everything else done so that I could get there. Live session scheduled and prepped the previous day, all equipment prepared, charged before starting, clear priority set. Primary mission was to reach Brisbane meeting. Is this correct? Yes. Write the new actions on a whiteboard for today. Still on follow me? Yep. Right, so we need to run it live. Yep. 16th. Handover notes need to be done. Yes, we can do that again. 16th. Actually, those times are going to change. So live was 10 to 10:30. I want to know why I put a specific time in. It's on previous videos. Ask me for the reason why. We ask when are you going to start and what time are you going to actually lock into your calendar to do it. Far more powerful than saying, well, when's that going to be done? Handover notes, we'll write that 10:30 to 11. And then we got, get rid of this with the raggy. This is going to be the 16th as well. Brisbane meeting. So this will be happening during your morning pre-start, or your morning brief, we call it. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. All of this will be going on. What are we doing today? What's the top 3 things that must happen? Not 150 things that we need to get done. What are the 3 things that are going to move the needle today? Are an absolute must drive our global optima for the project. So who will rip off of there the tasks that we needed to do, and then it'll ask me for definition of done. So we can say, is that task done or is it not done? So it's no ambiguity. The live must be published on LinkedIn and YouTube. Handover notes need to be ready to copy paste and hand across to mocks. CEO's done this a few times. He knows, even though the transcription said mocks, M-O-C-S, he knows that it's mocks, M-O-X, missions, operations, execution. Definition: attend the meeting between 2 and 3 p.m. He's done the debrief, completed. So we would then take that, throw that into Teams so that everyone can see what was agreed to in this morning's meeting. And then that's a handover brief that another GPT that I've got takes and uses to write a recap of this, which we're going to remove a lot of this friction out of the process, the way this whole process happens with Claude very, very soon. Working on it right now. All right, have you run ORCA yet? Hot dog or not dog? Hot or not hot dog? Yes, you've done it. No, you haven't. If you haven't, you want some help, reach out. Just DM me ORCA help. We'll jump on, have a quick chat and organise time to either run it with you or something like that. All right, take it, use it, make it a great week. Remember what Keith Cunningham says in this video right here. You can rely on the rabbit's foot if you want, but it didn't do much good for the rabbit. And remember that catalyst loop. See, fix, share, spread. Simples. Speak soon. The less risk you perceive there is on your project, the more risk that there actually is. But as Keith Cunningham warns,
risk doesn't cease to exist just because you ignore it. My dad told me years ago, Keith, you can rely on the rabbit's foot if you want, but it didn't do much for the rabbit.
On projects, this means that you're doing things like overlooking unexamined assumptions, like the reliability of your vendors, ignoring low probability but high impact risks, something that Nassim Taleb calls black swans, failing to create contingency plans. The smartest leaders tackle risk head on. What blind spots could derail your project?